in section, let's see, 2B, starting with problem number 4, 5, and 6, we are asked to include bar graphs with percentages. In fact, with this problem, we're asked for 6 different graphs. So we're going to be comparing the campus data with gender, and our 6 graphs are going to be, let's see, we have a side-by-side bar chart with frequencies that gives a gender makeup of Valencia. That's one. Then we have a side-by-side bar chart with percentages that gives the gender makeup of Valencia. That's 2. Then we have a side-by-side bar chart with frequencies that gives the gender makeup for Canyon Country. That's 3. And our last bar chart, we have a side-by-side bar chart with percentages for the gender makeup of Canyon Country. So that's 4. And then we have 2 pie charts, one with frequencies and percentages on the same chart for the female students only, describing the 2 campuses. And for the last chart, it's a pie chart with frequencies and percentages for the male. So that's 6. So notice that with the pie charts, we're able to do frequency and percentage in the same chart because they're both showing the pie chart is the whole. With the bar charts, we have to use separate charts, one for frequency and one for percentage, because the scale is going to be different. So let's get started. So I have my campus data that we got in part 2A, and the first thing we want to do is the bar graph that shows frequencies for gender for each campus. So click in the pivot table and say Insert. Let me get my mouse out. Insert. And I want a bar graph. And you'll notice that you automatically get both campuses. I'm fine with you including both campuses on one graph. It separates it into kind of 2 separate graphs with this kind of space in the middle. So that's fine. And it does break down the frequencies. And we can show the frequencies by hitting this plus sign and getting data labels. So there's our frequency counts on top of the bars. If you do want to show 2 separate bars, as the directions say, one for the Valencia campus, one for the Canyon Country, what you do is filter. So go to campus and filter out one campus at a time. So there's the Canyon Country. So I can take a picture of that. With my snipping tool and paste that into a Word document. And this was Canyon Country's gender makeup. And then we do the same thing with Valencia, side-by-side bar chart of Valencia's gender makeup. And then go back to my graph. Actually, let's do this. Let's put them both on the same page. There we go. So now we can kind of see both of them. And I'm going to change this now to Valencia. So I uncheck Canyon Country and check Valencia. Now I see just Valencia. I still have my counts and the title and the label of Valencia. So now I'm going to take another picture. So I open my snipping tool, click New, take a picture of that graph. And the reason I'm doing a picture, not a cut and paste, is because as I change the numbers and data and filter, the graph changes. But I want to take a picture of that graph frozen in time so that when I mess with the graph and the filters and the numbers, the graph doesn't change in my homework. Okay, the third graph we're asked for is a side-by-side chart. Oh, I actually got them out of order a little bit. Let's see. So that was actually the first and the third. So now the second one is a side-by-side chart with percentages for the, let's do Valencia campus first. Okay, so this is a little tricky and a little different than what we did in class because, let me unfilter first. So we have, actually we can leave it filter because we'll just do Valencia first. So in class what we did was I said right click and I said show values as percent column total. And that's because we were taking a percentage of the columns. But in this case, our campuses are actually in a row, not columns. So I want the total to be the female count over the grand total of the total at Valencia. So I actually want this one to be in row count. So I say show value as percent of row total. Now I have my bar chart in percentages for Valencia. So let's take a snapshot of that and put that in my homework. And the last bar chart is side-by-side bar chart. I'm going to go ahead and do a carriage return right there to get my words and my graph on the same page. Side-by-side bar chart with percentages of Canyon country gender makeup. Do a little spell check. Okay. Okay, so now I need to, so I already have my chart formatted to be percentages. The thing I need to do now is change my filter from take out Valencia and put in Canyon Country. And now I have my Canyon Country percentages. So I'll take my snipping tool, take a picture of that. And I have my 4 bar charts now. Okay. You're welcome to make these smaller or organize the page how you like. And as I said, I also do not mind if you do not do the filter. And because there's this kind of space identifying that this is 2 separate bar charts, I'm fine with those 2 being on the same bar chart. The only thing is you can't do percentages and frequencies on the same graph. So you could, instead of doing these two right here, the Valencia and the Canyon Country separate like this, you could keep these with their, oops, show value as no calculation. Keep theirs with those count and have them side by side like I have on the Word document over here, or side by side in one graph and cut and take a picture of that would be fine. Same with the percentages. We have 2 separate graphs as the directions stated, or do show value as percent of row total, since the campus is in rows, and to have them side by side like that is also fine. Okay, so going on to the next 2 graphs. So I already have these graphs very pretty in my Word document. They've been snapshotted, so I can't really make 4 separate graphs on the Excel document because as I change the table, the graph will change too, which is why I'm taking pictures of it and putting on a Word document. But now I'm going to go to pie charts. I'm going to delete my bar chart from the Excel since I've already got my pictures and I just want the space for my pie charts. The pie charts were asked for 1 for only females and 1 for only males. So each column gets its own pie chart.